Hello, welcome back, welcome back. I don't have on my glasses, so I can't really see that well, but it has like a glare that I don't want in the cameras. But this is my daughter Aria. She is 15-year-old.
Hello.
Years old, my firstborn, and she is about to interview me this time around.
Ask my questions.
Okay, once again, I do not know any of the questions. I just hope they don't embarrass me, and I hope it's entertaining and insightful and just another cool thing we're doing to keep for our records. All right, Aria Daria, I'm ready for the interview.
All right, I have 11 questions.
11.
Number 1, how do you deal with burnout? It can be creative, it can be in general. How do you deal with burnout?
Ooh, how do I deal with burnout? That's a fancy question. I make sure I give myself rest. So I will, usually I'm getting better about this. I'm not the best, but my body will tell me before my mind will. So I'll get aches in my body, in my lower back, in my neck. That's kind of like, okay, Trinae, you need to slow down, you need to rest, you need to relax, because we just want to go. And so I think as I'm learning how better to listen to my body, that's how I deal with burnout. I listen to my body. So once I start giving me those signals, I'm just like, nope, we're not going to do that. And making sure I get rest. Just resting when I need to instead of pushing myself past it so that I don't even get to the point of being burnt out. So I make sure I rest. I'll go in my room. You guys see me go in there, close the door.
Every time.
Every
We're
time.
like, oh, mom's hibernating again.
I need my rest. Otherwise, I wouldn't be great. I'll be a hot, irritated mess. Yeah. That's how I deal with it.
Number 2, if you could go back to college again, what would you change? Major, minor, clubs, experiences, etc.
If I can go back to college, what would I change? Oh, so much I would change. First of all, I probably would make sure I choose something that I could really stay focused on to keep the Hope Scholarship that we have here in Georgia, so that I wouldn't have to take out any loans. So I would change that. I would also change, just a lot of the distractions that I had with, being in the campus ministry at the time. It was like so involved, and it was so like socially involved with different activities that we weren't taught and didn't know how to manage our time well, like between studying and social events. So yeah, I think I would those are some of the top 2 things I would change. I would make sure I listen to myself, because I chose anything in technology, because that was what was pushed for us in high school. They're like, you're going into technology, so you need to go and major in it. But I'm not the most techiest of people. That's not my strength. But I went into it anyways, programming. So I would change that, like really listen to myself or get a good advisor. And I would make sure that the social activity that I signed up for, so to speak, that I didn't let it drain so much of my social energy to where I didn't focus a lot on my studies, I guess. Right now, those are 2 things that come to mind that I would change, but I'm sure there are others.
Dang, that was 3 things. It was the tech, the loans, and the social events. Is 3.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
It's not as much as I thought. All right, number 3. What do you think is America's biggest scam that you fell for?
America's biggest scam?
Yes. We're getting into
that I fell for?
Yeah. Or just like, what do you think is America's biggest scam?
My country's biggest scam that they tout that I fell for. Ooh. my gosh. America's biggest scam. What in the world? I don't know. I don't want to say.
You don't want to say why not?
I don't know. I don't know what to say with that. The biggest scam. Because there's so many scams in the world. The scam of college. I guess that's probably one.
You think college is
like,
a scam?
in a sense, because not everybody is made for college, but true. I think the scam that is a huge scam, because so many of us, especially my generation, have so many student loans. So the scam that, okay, once you get out of high school, you need a college degree to make money and like have success. And that's not true. Like, once you get your degree, it's like, okay, I have that paper. But nowadays it's more like your experience, how you are with interpersonally with other people. So I think that's one of the scams of my generations that I believed in America. Like, you have to have a college degree to succeed. And I love that there's college and schools for people for higher learning, but it's so expensive. So expensive in comparison to what you get paid, depending on what your degree is. But mostly it's, you make less money a year than you're able to pay off those student loans. So that's a scam.
For pretty much anything other than like STEM stuff. All right.
Yeah.
So now that I gave you a really hard one, we're going to level it up a bit. We're going to give you an easier one.
Oh, okay. Easy.
Level it out.
Level it out.
What are some of your goals for the future?
Some of my goals for the future?
It's vague.
Look at her. She's giving such deep, thoughtful, thought-provoking questions, making me think. See the vast difference between my 9-year-old and my 15-year-old? Okay, my goals for the future. My current goals are to just be able to create and enjoy what I create, and live life like creating and healing from so much of life and maybe a previous life as well. But just to create, my goals are to create, to be able to teach what I enjoy, and to be a woman who is completely and utterly in love with herself in the healthiest of senses, just full of self-love and self-assurance, and just an esteem that I hadn't seen in my family or in like a lot in my family growing up. So just to be a woman full of esteem, and to and to just create and heal. Those are my goals. They're so general. You want a specific goal?
Well, no. It's just kind of like
general
the
goals
from the last one. This last one's really specific.
Yeah, it's a general goal, because I know sometimes you'll hear people say, begin with the end in mind. But for me, my end, when I think the end in mind, I think death, leaving the world. But begin with the end in mind. I don't know what that is, because every ending, there's another beginning. And so I'm just like, I don't know what that end is for me. I don't have this set thing that's like, this is the end, other than feeling way more, self-esteemed and self-love than I did when I started being conscious in this life. But yeah, that's my answer to that.
I see. More self-love. Number 5. What is your number one core value right now, and is that different from teenage Trinae or child Trinae?
My number one core value? Ooh, the nebulous things they are, our values. They are so cloudy and fuzzy. But I think my number one value is that to like love yourself, to love myself. That's the number one value, to love myself enough to listen and trust myself more. That is like a core value, to listen to myself and trust myself. And in that, I need silence and quiet and solitude to be able to do that well. I think that's a core value. And to just, yeah, that's it. And to really treat others how I want to be treated. Like really lead with that. And if they show me otherwise, then snip, snip. But cut it off because I don't have time. Yeah, so really lead with that and treating people how I want to be treated, giving that benefit of the doubt. And as soon as that's not reciprocated, not in this like fancy, idealistic, you have to be perfect, but just like really, really treating another person like with respect and kindness and gentleness and yeah.
And how is that value different from your younger teenage Renee, child Renee?
Ooh, it's different because I was super skeptical and had the most ill thoughts that people were out to get me. So my teenager self was very like on guard, and you know, you have to prepare for the worst. People will meet you at their worst. And if you kind of think like that, you will get a lot of those kind of people in your life who will treat you not the best because you already have that mindset. But that's how I grew up. It was just kind of like, it's different from my teenage value, which I don't even think my values were super clear, as in like, I'm thinking as a teenager, these are my values. But I think I valued honesty for sure from people, because I would give honesty, but then you realize, oh my gosh, not everybody's straightforward and honest. Like, and don't expect everybody to be as straightforward and honest as you are, because they're not. And yeah, so I think it's different from my younger version in that, my teenage self, in that, yeah, I just expected the worst and I didn't have the best expectations of people just from what I seen or just how I was raised. It was very, you had to be on guard. You couldn't really trust, you know, growing up in a lower income community where there was shooting, drugs, selling.
The bar was in hell.
What?
The bar was low.
The bar was kind of low, so yeah, that's what made it different. I hope I answered that.
Yeah, I did.
Yikes.
Number 6. If you could tell your past self one thing, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, Aria.
And how old would your past self be?
Oh, if I could tell my past self one thing.
And how old would you be when you
Ooh, what age would I want to tell myself something? Let's see. Oh my gosh, you're going to make me cry thinking about this. Oh my God.
No cry.
Oh dear.
Don't
okay.
cry.
I did not expect these fancy questions.
Fancy.
They're kind of like making me cry, making me think, going
Fancy
to the
questions
depths.
make people cry.
What'd you say? The advice I would give my
If you could tell your past self one thing, what would it be and
One
how old
thing.
would you be?
ooh
Don't cry.
one thing. I was just thinking about this. I wrote about this on my little Facebook post not too long ago. Just one thing. I would tell myself many things, but one of the main things I would tell my younger self, and she would be 5 years old, entering kindergarten. I would tell her, you are beautiful, you are healthily selfish, you are smart, and don't sweat the small stuff. Like, don't get lost. Don't worry so much about what others are thinking of you or how they are perceiving you. Like, don't think too much about that. Don't give too much weight to how you think others are viewing you. Because I think I was super self-conscious as a kid.
At 5?
I was self-conscious. I was thinking, I was in kindergarten, like, what does my kindergarten teacher think of me? Like, just always cautious, like, what are these people gonna think of me? How are they think of me? How are they perceiving me? Yeah. And it just lasted throughout. Like, I was just always very, like, in my shell, wondering how other people were perceiving me and if they were perceiving me in a good light. I mean, I couldn't put it in those words at that, but that's kind of how I was feeling. Yeah.
Very self-conscious.
Very
at
self-conscious.
5.
At 5 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I was super self-conscious. Super not very confident either. But I remember this one time as a preteen. I think I was probably like 13. No, 12. Like 12. Anyways, one of the girls in the neighborhood had this little guy, this like boyfriend who was around, and him and some other guys would come with her and me and her sisters or whatever. And I was such the oddball, but I would tag along with them. And he was just like, he came up, he was like, oh my gosh, why you gotta have lollygag with you? He called me a lollygag. And I'm like, a lollygag? This is just kind of like a tag along. Like, why is she here? Like, and I just felt like, why am I here? Or, you know, like a little tag along. I was so like impressionable. It was crazy. Not anymore, though. I was so, yeah. Gosh, I would be like, girl, don't pay him no mind. Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 7. Do you feel like you would be in a better place in life right now if you did not have kids?
A
Whether
better
it be
place?
financially, emotionally, spiritually. Do you feel like you would be in a better place in life right now if you did not choose to have kids?
I don't know if I would be in a better place. I have to say that having kids made me dig deep to think about why I'm here, what I want to become, the example I want to set for you guys, the cycles that I want to break when it comes to how you treat yourself and others. So I don't think I would say a better place spiritually, because I feel like you each kind of motivated me and forced me in some ways to kind of grow up and deal with my inner self. Like, because I'm like, I don't want them to experience the same things I experienced. So it kind of made me want to change the way I think and study to find out, why am I this way? Like, why? Oh, let me study this book by this woman who talks about something that's totally not looked upon as favorably in my culture, which is like spanking children. And so reading that and understanding more about
Thank you for
that.
not hitting me.
Yeah. For not beating you guys. But yeah, like just having you guys showed me that that's wrong, and that being something that I experienced and a lot of people in our culture experience, like showed me like, oh wow, like that's not healthy. That is another thing that's kind of detrimental to our hearts and souls and spirits. So I don't think I would be in a better place. I think I'm in a much richer place emotionally, spiritually, but financially, maybe.
That's what I thought.
Financially, maybe, because I would only have to worry about
You
providing for me and
me,
not
myself, and I.
making sure y'all are set. But whatever, it's a part of life. It's a part of
Money
life.
away. All right.
Away, not away. Money come money. We need money to survive. Okay, not money away.
Number 8. Did you always know that you wanted children?
I always knew. Yeah, I always felt kind of like I want at least one. I just always wanted at least one child.
Just me, no one else.
You were the firstborn. Firstborn nugget. Yeah, I always wanted at least one. I ended up with 3. Because then I was like, oh, but I want to try for a boy. Then there was a girl, oh, but I want to try for a boy. And finally got a boy. I think I would have stopped even though if he was. But yeah. I always knew I wanted at least one. I wanted to nurture somebody. I wasn't into cats or dogs or animals, so I wanted to nurture a human that came from me.
I see.
Yeah.
Nurturing. Number 9. If you were the CEO of one of the companies that controls the U.S.'s government, what law would you pass?
What in the world?
Congress?
Pass.
Dang. Which brings us down to 10 questions.
Oh,
Five.
yeah.
All right. Number 10. What is one thing you want to do before dying? The end is death.
One thing I want to do before death. What's one thing I want to do before death? Before dying and leaving this world? Experience true romantic love with an awesome man who just gets me and I get him. Just experience true romantic love of just a kindred spirit. That would be awesome. I would love to experience that before I left. Because I feel like if I died, I'd be like, do I want to go back down there just to experience what it's like to have a loving partner to walk with throughout life, since this time around didn't work out. So I think just to experience true, authentic, romantic love with another amazing man who's like another kindred spirit. Yeah. Like a part of my soul tribe. It's a part of my group. Yeah.
I see.
I have one question for you, Aria.
I'm not done.
Oh, I
have one more.
Okay. I thought you just 10. I said 10. You said 11?
Yeah,
you gave
this
me all
is
these
10.
Deep, heart-wrenching questions.
The last one is, what is one thing you think everyone else should do before dying?
Live life as full as they can. Like, just really live life as full as they possibly can muster, whatever that means for them. Like, I've lived life to the full, whatever that means for that person. Just whatever it means, find it, whatever it is, and live it to the full, whatever it is. I think that's what I think everybody should do while they're here. Like, why am I here? Ask, why am I here? Although sometimes people don't want to hear why they're here because it means different types of sacrifice. But I think everybody should live whatever life they're going to live to the absolute fullest, whatever that means for them. And create. They should always create. Always be creating. Whatever that is. Creating. We were put here to create. We were put on this earth to create. We are created, or creatures, and we were put here to create. So I think it's so amazing seeing like all the different things that humans can create. Some things have similar themes and threads, but so many things are unique and different. And I think everybody just tapping into their creativity in whatever way moves them is magical and just beautiful, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful answer for the last question that we have.
All right. Thank you, Aria. My question
Now we
for
go back
you
to the
is, look at this cutie. How'd you get so beautiful?
That's my question.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at this
I
gorgeousness.
was born from my mother, and that is how I got so beautiful. I'm blinking twice. I need help.
What does that mean? That's because you were born from your mother?
No.
That's
It's
how
like,
you got so beautiful?
it's like you're making me say it.
Oh, what? You okay? You smacked me in my face.
I'm sorry, Mom.
All right, and that is the end. say bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Let's do a thumbnail.